One of the main issues I see when I'm working with my consulting clients is retention. So a lot of these gym owners, they're able to get clients in the door, but then they have trouble keeping them. And really what ends up happening is they end up signing 5 clients up and then losing 5 clients and breaking even for the month instead of actually growing. So one of the big benefits we have as small training gyms is retention. A lot of retention starts from your initial kind of membership options. As I've mentioned in previous videos and speaking engagements I've done, I'm still a big fan of having the 12-month memberships. That's what we do at all of our gyms. I think that's a big tool in helping with retention. With the 12-month memberships, a lot of times we can keep our retention rate around 2 or 3%, meaning if I have 100 members, I'm only going to lose 2 to 3 of them per month, and I'm going to be able to retain the other 97. Versus if I have a month-to-month memberships, a lot of times that retention number can actually creep up to more like 5 or 6%. So if I have 100 clients on month-to-month memberships, I can expect to lose more like 5 to 6% of those members each month. All that being said, whether you're doing 12-month or month-to-month, you're still going to have an advantage in retention as a training gym versus these large big box gyms and versus some of the group class model gyms like F45, Orange Theory, stuff like that. Those gyms typically have around 10% attrition, meaning they're losing up to 10% of their members every month. So if they have 100 members, they're going to lose at least 10 every month, which means I got to get at least 10 new members signed up to even break even for that month, which can be very, very challenging. So all that being said, retention, we're looking for 2 to 3% per month. Again, meaning if I have 100 members, I'm only losing 2 or 3 of those members per month. There's a lot of different things that go into that, but here's a few tips that can really help with your retention. One of the most obvious ones that a lot of coaches don't think about and gym owners don't think about with retention is just having your gym be clean and presentable and respecting the money that your clients are paying. So with our gym model that we're looking at, our clients are spending, $300 to $400 a month per membership. If they're spending that much money on the membership and they're coming in and the gym is constantly dirty, there's stuff everywhere, the equipment's out of place, it's not very professional looking, that's going to wear on the members, and they're going to kind of wonder if you're not replacing the equipment, they're going to kind of wonder each month, what are they spending the money on, where's that money going towards, and that can weigh a lot on retention and people leaving if your gym is just dirty and not looking professional like it should. That's an obvious one. The next most obvious one is reaching out to people that haven't been in a while or are off their usage patterns. We go more off of usage patterns. So if somebody's coming in, let's say 5 times every month, and we look at the attendance report for the month and they've only been in 2 times that month, at that point we would reach out to them, see how we can get them back in the door because they haven't been in for their normal usage patterns. But really being able to identify what's the normal amount of time each member's coming in each month, and if they're not hitting that number each month, reaching out to them to making sure they get back in and get into their normal usage patterns. And then also obviously if they haven't been in for a couple weeks or a month, reaching out to them to get back in the door. The thing with retention obviously is that people are not using your services and they haven't been in, or they're not using it as much as they would like to. That's the number one reason why people are going to cancel. Another thing that goes into retention is actually just having repetition fatigue. And what I mean by that is your members come in, they see the gym, it looks the same, they work with the same coach. Obviously they're doing different workouts, but they're kind of doing similar stuff when they come in, and they just get used to doing the same thing over and over and over. And a lot of times that can create repetition fatigue, which gets people bored and wanting to try other stuff and eventually leaving. So some simple, easy things to combat repetition fatigue would be just move around the equipment in your gym. We do this every couple months, move around how things look, just so that when people come in, it's got a different feel, different look. If you haven't painted the walls in your gym in a while or changed the color scheme, change that up, really just break that down, change the look of the gym, paint the walls, just get something different going. And then also, I'm a big fan, which I've talked about in previous videos, of having them train with multiple coaches. We don't have any of our clients train with just one coach. They train with a team of coaches. I think that helps break up the repetition fatigue as well. But regardless, you got to change some things up and really try to fight that repetition fatigue of the client. And I think lastly with retention, another thing that comes into play is really just creating that community. One benefit that we have being small training gyms is we can really create that sense of community and belonging and really being engaged and interested in our members' lives. When you only have 100, 150, 200 members, it's really easy, or it's easier, I should say, to stay connected to them, make them feel part of a community, part of the gym. That's harder to do when you're in a gym that maybe has 500 or 1,000 members. So just something simple like having community events, checking in with your members, see what's going on with their lives, having member parties, having member appreciation months, just really trying to have the members stay connected to the gym and feel part of the community. So hopefully those are some tips that can really help you with maximizing the retention in your gym, because retention is a huge tool and advantage that we can have over these larger big box gyms, and it can really help your training gym. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to help, and I'm here to help you move forward and grow your gym. Thanks.